Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Sky Factory 2.5, and we are joined by wood chips. This entire episode is actually brought to you by wood chippings. Honestly, one of the greatest things ever. We ended up getting a tidbit from the stream arenas, and the stream arenas like, by the by, just so you know, if you use a hammer on the wood, let me demonstrate, bam! Punch out the tree soul. We lose some if I do it that way, but that's not the point. All right, so if we do that, then voila, we get some wood chippings, and these are about the same value as, and by about, I mean, I think they are actually exactly identical. They are the same value as our good friends, the saplings, and we can get those far more reliably. Don't jump off the ledge, okay? So we are well on our way. We have plenty of dirt production for the time being. I would say we have a pretty solid dirt line going now, and we can obviously make more and more and more. So that's all fine and dandy. So either way, enough of talk about this. More talk about interesting things. So we're gonna go ahead and make the south kind of our magical, beautiful place of wonder and enchantment and excitement. And then we are going to build ourselves a cobblestone generator. Now, a cobblestone generator, this is also going to turn into a landmark point. What I mean by a landmark point is we're going to be treating it kind of special. When we are going to do things that are landmark points, things that I think are very, very important to our series progression, I'm going to actually make sure that those things stay intact and I don't break them ever completely. So kind of a random aside-ish note, but something that is certainly interesting and important. So let me go ahead. We're actually going to, we need to make this one further in. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and do this. Okay, and then two to this side. We are going to need a little bit more cobblestone than what I need, but that's okay. And I am just going to do this just for the time. And we're going to build this all the way around. So I'm going to need 5, 6, and then 8. I need 8 more cobblestone, I think, something like that. So let's go back over here. We're going to take some of this newly made dirt, again, courtesy of wood chippings, and then we're going to go ahead, make those all go into the barrels whilst we do our dirty, dirty deeds. And ha-ha! All right, now we are going to take the dirt, and we are hopefully going to get enough cobble from this. I think we'll actually end up being short, but that's okay. We are also having ourselves some cobblestone that has been melting down in lava. Don't ask how a torch creates lava. I still continue to be baffled to this day about how that happens, but it's the magic of life. Not the magic of life as in birth, because that's apparently very scary and haunts people's dreams, but the magic of life as in life is spooky and does crazy stuff. So let's go ahead, get this all. Oh yeah, do we have enough cobblestone? Please, we have more than enough cobblestone. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put this bad boy, our inaugural. Oh, Choco, why did you do that? That wasn't part of the deal, Choco. Wasn't part of the deal. Dispatch of the traitors. Dispatch them. All right. Go ahead, put these bad boys down all around, and we're gonna get it all going. Bam, bam, bam. And voila. Now, this is the part where if I were to screw it up, it would be right about now. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to break away the wood. Okay, wood is gone. Now, I need to fill that there, and now we have that gap. So, I need to take this bucket right here, grab that thing of lava, and now this bucket will disintegrate, so I probably should have done water first. That was a dumb decision on my part, but that's okay. So we did lose the bucket because I'm a dumb. Oh, cry every time. Alright, so now that lava's flowing down, it is far enough away from the base that it should not light anything on fire. Oh, I can't believe I did that backwards. For God's sake. Alright, so we're gonna need we're gonna need to get some more clay going actually. Which it's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. Alright, so let's go ahead, break this down. Uh-oh. Alright, and then break this down. Break that down. Then we have dust. Now I'm going to require... Ah, crap. I need I still have it. Good. All right, so I'm going to need you into there. Let's get this full up with water. That's going to end up processing. I guess in the meantime, since we have some more downtime, I'm going to make some more dirt, because we are going to need a butt ton of dirt. And after thinking about it a little bit more, it occurred to me that we're not going to have magical crops just yet. It's going to take us a little while yet until we actually are able to see that come back to play, but we'll be back there soon enough. Also, I'm not entirely sure what biomes moo fluid things, the moo fluid, the cows that spawn like liquid stuff is, I think. And I stress on the thing of saying I think that it is in ocean as well as like in just general biomes that aren't like super spooky. So we should be able to find some, hopefully not in the too far distant future, but we will certainly see. Let's go. Bang. Okay, there's some clay. Break this down. Clay there, and then let us go ahead and put that into there. Fire up the bucket. Bang, 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 boom. We're gonna get it going on. And bucket. All right, cool. So now with said bucket, fill it up with a little bit of water, and then get ourselves this bad boy. And then voila. Nice little simple pleb lord cobblestone generator as per request. Now, in the interest of not losing my mental sanity, I am going to do this. I am going to make one little platform here. And then we have a little access point now. Now, in order to make this truly wonderful and truly magical, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to get a transfer node. But obviously, transfer nodes is going to give you guys a reminder of where we're at. This takes a while to get to. We are going to need to set up ourselves another mob grinder of some sort. I was pretty happy with the design we did last time, so I'm going to probably just do it again now. But I think in order to get here, we are going to want ender pearls. Chest, stone are irrelevant. We actually have the redstone dust that we need, so that's not really the problem here. And then we're also going to need some aluminum or iron. Probably iron would probably be a little bit more sensible than... Well, no, this is the wrong one. Hold on. Yeah, no, okay, yeah, so iron, and then some redstone, some glass. So that's going to be the stuff that we all need in order to get the transfer node back going, which is going to be the start of a really automation, all that stuff. But should be a pretty good place. Should be all rocking and rolling. So now the next order of business is I'm actually going to spend some time on stream. We're going to hang out, and we're going to improve the base for a while and kind of get things going. Because right now it's kind of haphazardly put together. We now have, with the wood chips here, I do have a not a great source of this stuff, right? But we have a decent, I would say, a decent amount of ability for us to requisition dirt, which of course is what we are mainly needing for what I want to do with the base. So we'll definitely be doing that for a little bit. So I'm going to do that for a while here, and then we will be back once I have gotten to a point where I'm feeling pretty good about it. So BRB. All right, we are back, and check it out. Look at the mini map. So we built ourselves a lot more to this base. A lot of aesthetic stuff been added, and things we still need to work on a lot, right? So we're definitely nowhere near close to being even done with what we have here. This is just the scaffolding and the pathing. But to give you a little bit more of an idea, this is going to be filled in with glass and stuff, and this is going to be, I'm not actually entirely sure. I'm kind of torn about this now. I was originally going to do something, but I'm not sure if I want to do it anymore. But yeah, we're going to end up filling this stuff in eventually. Over there is actually our new storage area. This is going to be composed of, for the time being, drawers. These guys can hold up to 32 stacks of whatever it is that you want to put in there. So right now in there, let me actually go ahead and get to an empty hands. So right here you can see I have 372 of these lovely things of oak wood in there. You can upgrade these drawers as well to be a little bit further. Now on each side there should be 20 or 11 on each side. There's 22 total, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 little silkworm buddies creepily crawling over there. But yeah, we do have 22 things of storage for individual things, and of course we can increase that number as we like. We can definitely, I think I'm going to even add some of those like multiple ones for the things that we get a lot like of random little bits and pieces here and there for organization's sake. But we will be doing that as well, so don't you worry for those of you who are concerned about our storage issues. So for bulk storage, we're good to go. We can start putting stuff in there. Now that said, cobblestone generator, of course this, we ended up putting a little wood block right down there, you can see. That was just to let us so we can just hold down left click and not really have to worry about too terribly much. But hopefully we don't have to worry about that too much in general. So we do have that going. We're going to keep that there. That's going to stay there as a permanent fixture, more or less. Here we have a little fountain, a little bit of aesthetics. A lot of torchy there just for the sake of making sure it's consistent. These two pathways I'm not going to talk about yet, but we do have the start of our little tree grove here. Now this guy is really handy in terms of we're going to eventually repurpose it so it's going to have the fruits. So there's like apple trees, stuff like that. And so I'm gonna definitely tinker around with it in the future. But for the time being, what it's going to really be handy for is just making sure that we can keep ourselves good on more wood chippings, which is going to be helpful, of course, to get ourselves more dirt while we are kind of in the interim stage where we don't have any magical crops or anything that's going to be able to let us create tons of dirt in general. But this will definitely help us along with that, as well as some food in terms of apples, as well as giving us the potential to even make some fertile grounds for some little nasty silkworm action. But we will be doing that, so that is what is all going on there. We did make it so they are in pairs, right? So whenever I go through, we can notice that most of the time, if both the trees have grown, I can hit the leaves once. When the leaves go down once, that's all I should really need, then I should be able to get the leaf, bounty, I guess, from one shot of the thing. We don't have to do it multiple times, which is nice. That's going to simplify things a little bit. It's not too much that we're ever going to really need to worry about a compressed crook especially breaking, and it's not going to be too little where I'm going to have to do that same action like 90 times over, so should be a lot better. In here we have our little kind of grotto of barrels and stuff, and we have some things collecting rainwater. As someone pointed out earlier on stream, it doesn't really serve a functional purpose since we have an infinite water source. Actually, at the moment we don't have an infinite water source, but we will have an infinite water source. I have the 2 buckets here so we can make that whenever we need. And of course, now that we have these guys, I guess we have backups to the backups. So we do have those water barrels more for aesthetic purposes than anything else, but we also have this dirt barrel collection here with a little bit of an overhang to make sure that water doesn't spill in. And we have these little different drawers here, the 2x2 compacts. These guys can't hold quite as much, but they can hold enough that we don't have to worry too terribly much about what we have in terms of storage capacity for little bits and pieces involved with trees and junk like that. So right now I have 64 apples. I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to pop that into there. As you can see there, we have the 7 extra, but then we have 64 in there. You can see that's kind of designated at the top middle, so cool. Overall, good stuff. Now, in order to get to the next kind of real major checkpoint here, we have to go do something very spooky, and it's something that I admit is very daunting and sort of concerning, because this is something that we have struggled with in the past. But we are going to have to go ahead and break down a lot of these bad boys. We are in the hunt to get a transfer node and stuff going, among other things. Now, in order to get stuff building, I also did mess with this guy. This guy is a stone wand. It's from Better Builder Wands. We can make a number of these different versions of it. But basically, what we're looking at here is we're looking at it more so for the ease and convenience of building stuff faster, like a builder's wand, but it's like an economic version. Now, you can make better versions of it with better things like iron and diamond, so we will probably mess around with that, but just kind of a heads up. Also, I just realized that that is absolutely going to break all our paths, so I need to make sure that doesn't reach. So let's go ahead, break that down, break that down. Now, I do have to make gravel, and I do have to get all that running and gunning, so let me go ahead and do this. We also have a fair bit of stone in our inventory if you're kind of keeping an eye on all the different things that are going on. Just change these to sticks. Let's make myself a hammer. And I don't know what I'm going to throw away. I will throw away nothing. No, I'll toss the sticks for now. And then actually, truth be told, what we could do is we could take our extra stuff that we aren't using right now, because we're not terribly concerned about stone at the moment, but we will probably need stone later. You can tell here I kind of been messing around with the slabs and such. I'm not going to worry about slabs. I know this is a waste, but we're going to not worry about the slabs, the stone bricks. I will, however, worry about stone, because stone in and of itself we will probably end up having a lot of in general, so I will store those there. And then we will put in another batch into our original furnace that has not moved. And now I think about it, it's kind of a mystery how that's been able to sit there this entire time, but whatever. Alright, so let's go ahead. Ooh, that's turned spooky because we put that in there. Alright, and I think we should be a-okay, just in case of horrible, horrible things happening. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and take these things of cobble. We're just going to smash these down. Process them. Alright, now we can do 10. 10 is the magical number here. It's not quite 10, but... Ah, woof. Darn it. That's okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and break these down. And actually, yeah, it's because we were covering these up. These will be fine if they have clear access to the torchlight, but obviously whenever I put it there, it doesn't have access to the torchlight. Alright, well, let me think. I think... So here was what I was originally planning on doing, and now I'm starting to think that might not be a half bad idea. Let's try it out. I'm gonna see what happens here. This is something that I was kind of curious about, and I was like, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, but I think we're gonna do it anyways. So, I have the ability to make a decent number of these guys now, because I have, of course, a decent number of things of cobblestone and other stuff as well, which is handy. Now, what I'm gonna do with said things is I'm gonna store. I guess I'm gonna store more of that into there. And then we'll take the existing guys, throw them into there, throw this into here as well, composting, getting more dirt, because we can never really have enough dirt. Dirt's always kind of a nice thing to have in general for Sky Factory. And then I guess we'll even savagely sacrifice these poor silkworms that have done absolutely nothing to earn our hate. Oh, I'm a monster. But anyways, we are going to go ahead. We need 9 of these hammers total, right? So let's go ahead and organize our inventory a little bit here so I have a better view of what I'm doing. So we are going to need right up to about the limit. So I'm going to need to make myself a little bit more by way of sticks. And then we're going to need 3. And then with those, we're going to make that happen. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. And then we're going to take these stone hammers, combine them all for a compressed stone hammer. Now again, these have 131 durability. 131 times 9 is what? 131 times 9 is going to be 1179, 1179 durability. So let's see what our return is. It's terrible. What? We also have a $5 donation from Jayla Junkie. Investing $5 said, hashtag Meola raid. Oh, well, thank you. Hello, Meola raiders. Holy fudge. And, oh, our team even wrote, and Meola has suddenly become all the rage in chat. Hello, everyone. Hello, raiders. Welcome. I'm making a compressed stone hammer. I have no idea what this does. I am kind of concerned because I have no idea what it'll do. All right, here, hold on. Let me see. What if I smack it? But hello, raiders. Welcome. Welcome to the wonderful world of Sky Factory. Am I missing something here? Oh, wait, you know what? You know what? I bet it is. I bet we can do this. We can probably do that. Alright, so let's take this compressed cobblestone here. Let's hammer those down. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the other numbers following 8. Alright, compressed cobble hammer of doom. Bang. What? Okay, well, it is working. So this is, okay, so that's a little bit nicer. So it saves you space and stuff, which is actually a really nice little addition to this whole thing for sure. So let me go ahead and just mine that up. It's unfortunate this does not vein mine. That's kind of a shame. That's kind of a missed opportunity, I would say. All right, well, anyways, let's get this gravel, compress this all down into oblivion. And then compress, compress, compress. All right, very good. Now that's not going to be enough for another one, so we're just going to take these 16 compressed gravel. Now, here is the thing about compressed gravel and such, right? I can uncompress them into the regular things of gravel so I can sieve them properly, which I actually just realized we don't actually have a place to do that. I guess we can just do them here. So let me go ahead and put down this oak sieve right there. Now we need, in order to make a transfer node, It's not hard to get the glass, right? But we do need a lot of redstone. We don't have ender pearls because we don't have a mob farm and stuff going yet, but I do think that it's worthwhile investing in a transfer node in general, so we're going to aim to get 9 things of redstone. In order to get the redstone, we do need dust, because dust is the only thing that can really give us redstone at this point. We also are going to need ourselves a pipe here, as you can see. So we're going to need to get these transfer pipes going, which is going to require 6 iron, or thereof a combination of like aluminum and stuff. But we need more or less 6 iron or 6 of these aluminum ingots, whatever, 2 glass and some more redstone. Again, glasses kind of, we're going to throw that out and not worry about it too much. Then once we have that, we're also going to need a world interaction upgrade. Now this bad boy is going to let us get all the cobblestone that we need, and we're going to need more iron for that. So we're going to need 7 iron here, total 4 lapis. Now, I think it makes sense, and stream, stop me if I'm wrong, but if I am right, I think the right way to do this is to do it straight from dust only. I don't think it makes any sense to do gravel. With the exception of one thing, we have to clear the necessary amount of gravel in order to get lapis. Lapis is the only thing that we desperately need. So as long as we clear the 4 lapis, we should be fine. So let me go ahead, sieve these down, and we're looking for 4 things of lapis. Now the other stuff is sort of irrelevant. I might even store them away into the drawers and stuff that we have. I'm not really sure if I want to do that yet, but we will definitely poke around with that. We are going to start going into Tinkers, but first I want to get this transfer node and stuff going, because we are pretty close, actually, to where we need to be. All right, so let's go ahead, uncompress some more gravel here, burn it down, and okay, people are saying that gravel drops more ores, because we can hammer stuff down, I guess, and then we can keep on going. I suppose that would be true. We have our first thing of lapis. We need 3 more. So who knows? Maybe it's going to be completely irrelevant, because it's looking very possible that we may not even get the opportunity to get that far, and we may actually end up needing ourselves a heck of a lot more gravel than I originally thought. Let's go ahead and make 45 of these. Whoop. When you fail, no heart eye emoji. All right, boom, 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 ba-doom. And let's go grab these bad boys, because we are going to need what? We need 9 redstone, obviously, for the redstone block. And I think we need 2 redstone outside of that, so 11. And then we needed another, however many for the transfer pipe. I think it was, we need another 2. So I think we need 13 redstone. So we need actually quite a bit of redstone. Oh, come on, lapis, please. Still 1 lapis. Just 1 lapis. Come on. Oh, come on, lapis. Come on! Oh, come on! They didn't even give us anything that time. It just straight up was like, nope, you get nothing. Ugh. Sad times. Sad, sad times. Now, we could sieve this in the heavy sieve, which would allow us to sieve the compressed stuff, but as someone has, I think it was either Dearth or our team, I think it was Dearth, but I was warned that if I do it, that's not as efficient as doing it 1 by 1. Now, that said, if you guys remember, if you guys were there for the 2.4 discussion about, hey, how are we going to make X asterisk more compact, and there's 3, we need 1 more. How are we going to make that all work? We discussed how we're going to do that, and I made this one system where it was going to be like one giant interconnected thing. I think that with the compressed thing now being in the game, we have to change our game plan to actually revolve around the compressed version. And hear me out, because I know that probably a lot of people are about to go up in arms and be like, that's preposterous! Why would you do such a thing? The reason why we're going to be doing that is because I personally think that we can probably, and actually, you know what? I'm going to do something that no one's going to approve of. Well, actually, no. I'm going to smelt this down as is what I was going to do. So, yeah, there we might get some people that are not going to be so pleased about my decision making here, but yeah, you got to do what you got to do, man. All right, so we'll throw these away. I'm going to hedge my bets that we're going to be able to do this right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, these compressed cobble or gravel, we're going to go ahead and do this. But anyways, what I was saying earlier, we're going to go ahead and basically put our chips on the table for doing this as a compressed version, because even though it's less efficient, going through them is much faster, right? Provided that you get the base resources. In order to get the base resources up to par, what we're going to need to do is we're actually going to need to get ourselves fair bit of like speed upgraded hammers and other stuff like that, and then that has to go into the heavy sieve. And to make all that stuff work, we're gonna have to have a higher amount of like cobble originally going in, and so on and so forth. So it's a little bit more involved than it would be otherwise, but I think it'll be well worth it in the end. I think. Now, obviously, I have been wrong before, but I am hoping, against hope, that I am correct this time. All right, so let's go ahead, break these down. Okay, there we go. And this to dust, so we can get some redstone dust. Boom, 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 boom. Compressed sand, there they all go. And voila. There we have some dust. Now, with this dust, I can start sieving these bad boys. Goodbye, broken gold ore. I threw the heavy sieve. I want the heavy sieve. Can I just get the heavy sieve? I just want one thing. Ah, you pieces of crap. Alright, goodbye. 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 Almost threw an emerald away. That could have been bad. Alright, so let's go ahead, sieve through these. We need quite a bit of redstone. I don't really remember what the exact number of redstone I need. Did I just pick up a... Oh, I picked up skystone dust. I was going to be like, I picked up something I don't think I'm supposed to pick up. Alright, there's our redstone, so we'll keep that in advisement. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run over here. I really should make more ferni, because there's literally zero reason for why I don't have more. But, oh gosh. Alright, put that in, pick that stone out, and let's go deposit the stone. Okay, I was wondering if I could just do that from there, but quite apparently not. Alright, and then we'll wander on back. And yeah, I can make another furnace over there. We'll make a temporary furnace. Temporary furnace will be temporary. Alright, then we'll have one aluminum cook up there. I don't think we're going to need to reach in for the aluminum. We'll see. I may change my mind about that as well, but we'll definitely take a gander at it. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick this stuff up. I am, for the time being, going to make myself a furnace, which apparently is like the last thing this game wants me to do. And apparently we have just unlocked Hot Topic. The game is lying, but we are going to let it go. And then I guess, yeah, so we're just going to have to run this all the way down. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be on the ground here shortly, but what I need to keep an eye out for are the following two. We need to keep the powdered iron ore, which is there, and we're also going to need to keep an eye on the redstone ore. Now let's make sure that we actually remember what we need. We have this stuff, so we are just in the hunt for 7 iron now from there. And we are in the hunt for 7 iron. We currently have 2, so technically 5, I guess, but we're not going to think of it that way. And then transfer node, we're going to need 11 for this, and then 1 for that. Okay, so we need 12 redstone total, and then we can more or less get going. And hopefully by that point we'll have enough powdered iron to make all that different thing of... question mark? We're going to have enough powdered iron in order to make enough iron ingots to get to where we need to be. But we are looking for 11. Now, we are going to also pick up some blaze powder, which again will be useful whenever we have to get pyrotheum dust, because blaze powder is sort of hard-ish to get. It's not really the hardest thing in the world to get, but it's enough of a pain in the butt that it's worthwhile to pick it up while we have the chance. Now, let me see here. We're going to go ahead and hopefully not have to break anything else into dust, because it looks like it's doing pretty well. Yeah, we're getting, I think that's copper that just fell over there. And there's some bone meal right there, which I don't really need any more of, honestly. Well, I think we just got a double bone meal drop. And there's some glowstone dust. We do want glowstone dust as well. Not for anything in the immediate future, but still is pretty nice. Alright, get it going down. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I can't imagine why we wouldn't be fine. So, after we have this, we'll have the interaction, world interaction transfer node set up. The main hype about that is, of course, that now with that in the gameplay, that I can just go ahead and have infinite cobble, and I don't have to sit there mindlessly grinding away for cobblestone. And with enough cobblestone, that means that I don't have to worry as much about certain other things, like worrying about bottlenecks for sieving and all this other stuff. What I will do is I am going to work towards getting tinkerers online relatively soon in order to maximize how much we're going to be able to get for having done each thing. But as I mentioned before briefly, for Tinker's Construct, it is going to be a ridiculous amount of smelteries that we set up. I know some people were a little bit confused as to why I don't just set it up in one big smeltery. It's to prevent things from merging together and combining into the hybrid, or not hybrid, that's not the correct word, the composite, I would say, composite metals or whatever else you want to call it. So in order to prevent that from happening, we're going to go ahead and make individual ones, have just the ingot production all set up and ready to go. And the idea here is, of course, that once we set up the correct version, we don't have to set it up again. That's what we're hoping for. So we'll see what happens. Should be pretty good. Now, I think it's going to be close, actually. It's going to be pretty darn close for the redstone dust, I think. Because we have a little bit more dust after this lot here, but not that much more. I think we have like 11 or something more after this, and we are cutting it real close. We actually might need to break away some more into redstone. We might have to break away more dust. That's brutal. That's actually brutal cadoodle. Holy fleep. Are you kidding? Wow. It's like, it's playing hard to get in the worst possible way. And let's go ahead and keep this out. Okay, we have 35 more. It's doable. It's definitely doable. We are right about at the cusp of where it should be. If we get half of what we got, and we were a little bit over half, then we should get exactly 4. So hopefully we just clear the amount. I think we will. Now the powdered iron, we are sorely lacking. We don't have nearly enough iron for this, unfortunately. So I can at least for that we can do it from gravel. We can get it from gravel, and I don't have to worry too much about anything else. Man, we're getting slaughtered. We're not getting any iron. Jeez Louise. We might be able to compensate. I don't know if you're allowed to mix aluminum and iron. I get the feeling you won't be able to. But if we can, then that might actually make it a little bit closer than what we originally said. But we'll see. Fingers crossed, fam. Fingers crossed, because this could end up being really good or really, really bad. And honestly, I don't think we're even going to need to worry about dust gains and stuff like that for a while. We're actually in pretty good shape. We just need one more redstone dust, and that'll take care of all the redstone. Then we can focus on gravel, which would be pretty darn hype, I would admit. Okay, so we've cleared redstone, and now we're just looking for powdered iron, primarily. We'll accept anything else as well, but because we get some good stuff out of here, right? You can see some blaze powder on the ground, some glowstone dust, some bone meal. We're going to get some skystone. We're going to get some Certus quartz dust, which is going to be useful later when we get into Emmy again. So a bunch of stuff we're going to end up getting from this bad boy. So looking quite forward to it. Looking quite forward and hoping for the best. All right, and then bang. There's the last of it, and it does not look favorable. It does not look favorable at all. Dang. Okay, let's go ahead, put this gravel down. And then we'll whip out our other hammer here. Oh, I just did what I said we aren't going to do. Because I am the smartest. Because I'm going to throw this into there. We're going to go ahead and merge the powdered iron. And naturally, since I have done it this way, there's going to be like everything everywhere. I guess we're going to do this. Then we'll throw in the iron ore dust into there. And mother of goatfish. Alright, we're going to temporarily store... Okay, we will store the blaze powder, because blaze powder, glowstone dust. The powdered gold ore isn't necessarily very important. The Certus quartz, the skystone. I think those are the big ones. Silver, I'm actually going to jettison that stuff, because we aren't going to ever use it. Sand, we can make that into glass. That should actually be something of a priority. So let me go ahead. Let's just smelt the sand down for now. All right, let's eat some apples. All right, so let's see here. What we're looking to get at this point. So we have the redstone that we need. Whoa. We have the redstone that we need in order to get this all satisfied. The stone, so we are just looking to make this transfer pipe, which that's not a transfer pipe. All right, so we need to get 6 iron and 6 aluminum. I think either or works. Let's see. I don't think it's going to work out this way. I hope it does, but I kind of doubt it will. But we'll see. We'll see if they end up being interchangeable. If they are interchangeable, great. If not, then oh well, we need to get some more. But should be a-okay. I needed, okay, I was like, I needed 12 redstone dust. I lied. I needed 12, and it's okay because we actually have the allowance for that. All right, so we need to make ourselves this thingy, which, what is this going to require again? It's going to require 2 glass and all that, so, oh, I don't even have enough of those combined, do I? Yeah, we're going to be 1 short either way. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're gonna jettison some stuff here. We're gonna jettison the nickel, the copper. We're gonna hold onto the iron. The tin can leave. Now, bone meal is actually related to this kind of stuff, so I will leave the bone meal in here actually, because bone meal is related. Oh no! I could. Whatever. Screw it. Oh, we could have used it. Dang. All right. So let's go ahead. Transfer pipe. Will this work? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what the game has to say about my way of thinking. Will you work? No, it needs the same. I figured as much. I was hoping that wouldn't be the case, but unfortunately it is. All right, so we are going to need to make ourselves a little bit of some other stuff going here. I'm going to take this crook, and I'm going to deposit into here. And I'm going to deposit another crook into here, question mark? Okay, good. And then those are going to hold on to crooks. I have one in my hand. That's all fine and dandy. And we have some cobblestone. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's gather these all up. And we just need to break this into gravel. And we're just going to go from the gravel stuff. So break that down into gravel 1 by 1. Piece by piece, part by part. And then we are just going to sieve these down. Now, I have heard people correct me about how it's pronounced sieve. I personally think it should be pronounced sieve. Oh, did I get redstone for... Wait, what? Wait, I picked up something red. I think I actually did pick up a redstone. What? I don't know if you can get redstone dust from that. That's weird. Strange. Alright, well, either way. I need broken iron ore to be on the monitored group, so we'll leave that there. Now we are looking for, let's see here, we'll also, aluminum is going to be, I was about to say aluminium. Aluminum is also a-okay by me. But we have 5 iron here. I need 1 more in order to satisfy the requirement for the transfer pipe. And then in addition to that, I'm going to need some extra, of course, for the other things. Now let me throw, okay, so the nickel is right there. We can throw this aside for now. Because yeah, we're gonna need. Oh, actually no. We just need that. We just need that iron. We just need the iron for the transfer pipe. Oh, and the world interaction upgrade, right? So we need 7 for the world interaction upgrade in general, and then we need 6 of either aluminum or that. So hopefully, actually, if we can get what 16 broken aluminum ore, that'd be great. And then if we can just get a bunch of iron, that'd be also spectacular, because that would be honestly the hype out of Skype thing. That would be the best case scenario, which I don't even know if we're gonna hit. It'd be nice if we could hit it, but I just don't know if we are. But we will hope. We will hope for the best. We would hope indeed. There's 1 set, so we just now cleared what we would need if we were to do it via iron for the transfer pipes. We are going to need 7 additional iron on top of that, so we would need to see 32 iron if we wanted to do it all via iron, but hopefully the aluminum is going to help us out a little bit more than what it's currently doing, which would be awesome. I don't think it's going to happen, but I have the right to dream. Oh man. All right, we got 3 aluminum. Come on. All right, so what would I need? I would need 16 total broken aluminum. And if I have 16 total broken aluminum, then we can sort of finagle our way through things. But we are hurting. We are hurting. We are going to need far more iron. Oh, it's the struggle. It's the struggle indeed. I'm hoping against hope, fam. I don't think we're going to make it. No! All of my hopes and dreams lay crushed. Crushed like these broken aluminum and iron ores. Crushed into oblivion. How sad. Man. So we actually need far more. That's unfortunate. Now, some people may come to the logical conclusion of, well, actually, once you get this done, don't you technically need some more stuff involved? Yes and no. What we can do is we can have a chest out there. We could even have a drawer out there, I guess. We can just have the transfer pipe connect to that, and we would just have a whole bunch of cobblestone. We will eventually make a proper thing. Again, that cobblestone generator that we have there is not going to be what we use for everything. We will make a proper cobblestone generator and stuff later on down the line. But for the time being, that's the way we're kind of running with things. So just kind of a heads up. All right, so that's all the gravel we got. Wasn't even close to being enough, unfortunately. So let me at least combine these bad boys, smelt these down. Yeah, we didn't even scratch it, man. We weren't even close. All right, broken silver ore, you can hang out there. Gold, same. Copper, same. Nickel, same. All right. And then now we got gunpowder and stuff. So let's go retrieve some of the things that we don't want to leave in here. So we can retrieve you, and you, and you. All right, cool. And so we'll leave these in the drawers over yonder. Yonder I wonder. And hopefully it will not end up ending very poorly for me. All right. We are very, very risky when we do this. By the by, this resource pack is so pretty. I don't know if I ever mentioned that before, but it is really pretty looking. I'm very pleased with the way it looks. It is very, very nice. Okay. Actually, you know what? I should probably reverse these. That's okay. We'll do that in there, and then we'll do... we should probably put the dusts on. Yeah, we'll just do this. So Certus quartz dust can hang out in there. We are going to be... actually, we need 12. So we're going to need... We have 1 redstone more than what we need. And then blaze powder I will leave into there as well. And that should bring us to a pretty good spot. All right, cool. So we're going to need far more gravel. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and continue grinding on stream. And I'll be back whenever, hopefully, we'll have ourselves all the iron and stuff that we need so we can get this all rocking and rolling. So BRB. Okay, everyone, we are back. And we have ourselves some aluminum smelting. And while that's going, we're going to actually start off with the world interaction upgrade. But we should have enough now to actually get this show on the road. All right, so... we are going to need to first start off by making a pickaxe. So that should be the very easy part of this, yes. So let us make this, and then we will do this, and then we will do that, and then we will do a little bit of this. Aha, and then voila. All right, so we now have an iron pickaxe. Now, we're going to make this world interaction upgrade, but first, I'm going to need to do it by hand. Cry every time. All right, iron, I think it's like this. Yep, okay, so there's the world interaction upgrade. Beautiful, looking mighty fine. And then we are going to then take that world interaction upgrade. I'm actually going to store it in here just temporarily. We're going to just store it in there temporarily. And then we're going to take this bunch of aluminum, for those of you from overseas, Kappa. But we're going to take some aluminum out real quick. Let me go ahead, drop these all off into the void. I know it's a waste, but it'll be fine. Like, if by the time it automates, it's not going to really make a difference. I think we'll hit automation point pretty soon. And then actually, we even have some powder lead. There we go. I know how to English. All right, so let's get some glowstone dust. I just realized we held on to the glowstone dust. I was supposed to leave this back behind. Whatever. All right. We also get our first diamond from the whole gravel sieving process. We did do it via the heavy sieve rather than the regular one because I was wanting this to go a little bit faster. So that's why we did that, if you're kind of curious about what's going on there. All right, so transfer pipes. We need to make some of these bad boys. Now, in order to make some of these bad boys, we're going to need to go into here and then make this, and then, wow, perfect. And then we're going to have to then do this, and then, wait, first, before we get into the sound effects. All right. Then we're going to do this, then we're going to do that, and then we're going to do the, oh, fleep's sake. We also need to do this. Hold on, hold up. Okay. All right, let's try again. And then you're going to do this, and, oh, for crying out loud. Oh, I don't have any stone. Okay, so we need to smelt down 2 stone. 2 stones, all I need. 2 stones, all that separates us from the greatness of a world interaction upgrade on a transfer node. And that's going to be grand. And also, I'm going to be making... I should actually probably do that now. I could probably do that now. Let's go ahead. Make some of these bad boys. We'll make some slabs as well. And then we are going to need... to make, oh lordy, all right, we're gonna need to do, okay, hold on. First thing first, get the 2 stone, make transfer node, voila, transfer node. Only one, sad face, but you know, it is what it is. We need to do what we need to do. So we're gonna just, again, this is a temporary measure. I know a lot of you guys are gonna cringe when you see what I do, but it'll be fine, I promise. I hope anyways. I can't really promise that because honestly, who knows? But let's see here. So we'll knock that bad boy out and then throw that right there. And then what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go into this crafting bench. We're going to go make ourselves an oak drawer. I'm really hoping these are compatible with whatchamacallit. I hope they're compatible with the, what is transfer pipes from? Extra utilities, yeah. So I'm hoping that they're compatible. If not, we're in for a very, very rotten surprise in a little moment here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take this, and we're going to lop it down right there. Now, what we should find is that, oh, I need the world interaction upgrade. Haha, lol. All right, we're going to have to get the world interaction upgrade for surezies. One second. All right, world interaction upgrade has been acquired, and we're now going to go forward and go unleash our furies upon the world. And then, and then throw that into there. Haha. And there it goes. It's going to now populate. Now, if we got more world interaction upgrades, we would get more cobble and such. But as you can see here, you can see it populating. And this is going to hold way... Actually, is it going to hold way more? I'm going to say yes. Actually... I guess it doesn't hold quite as much as a double... Does it? Yeah, no, it doesn't hold quite as much as a double chest, actually. So this is going to need to be upgraded in order for that to be really worthwhile. Which, I suppose... actually, hold on. This is from storage drawers. So let's take a look. So in storage drawers, they do have these upgrades here. We can get this. Now, increase the storage to 2 times the base value. That is the one that would do the trick. We could even do some stuff with gold because we could see that down. But for the time being, if we kind of... go for something like this. I don't know if that's just any drawer or if it's a 2x2. No, it looks like any drawer. All right, so any drawer with some sticks around it, and then we would need 4 iron, which we do have, so we can upgrade that right now. So let me go ahead and do just that. Let's go ahead, grab some sticks here. All right, and then we are going to need to make ourselves a drawer. So let me go ahead, do just that. Actually, we're kind of hurting on wood. I know I have some stored up, but I'm a pack rat, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this way. I'm going to just go ahead and run through, knock those bad boys out, easy peasy, and then let's go ahead and just do it the old-fashioned way by punching it with glowstone. Very good. Let's go ahead, get this out. Oh, now break trees with little trees. This is still one of my favorite things to do. Could you imagine like a little tree being a big tree? Oh gosh. It's a grand image of your head. A grand image. All right, boom, and boom. Beautiful. And of course, by the way, for those of you who are a little bit concerned about like, hey, you know what? There's better storage systems out there and such. I still am going to maintain that probably my go-to storage solution will be ME drives, because ME drives with the better. Actually, I should make sure that that's in this mod. That is actually a very, very important thing to check, because I did not check to see if it's in here. I'm pretty sure it is, because I don't remember it saying that it was removed from the mod pack. But I should just check. We should check to make sure. Because you never know, man. You never ever know until you check. And you confirm it with your own eyes. Alright, so let's put that down there. Alright. Break that down. And then bibbity bobbity boop. And bibbity bobbity boop. There they all go. Perfect. We got ourselves a good bit of wood. Actually, I'm kind of hungry. Let's eat some apples. Ooh. I think I'm like oversaturated. That's weird. Alright, so let me actually... Okay, let's do this first, and then we'll check the ME situation to see if it's actually in here or not. So let's go ahead and make a chest. Alright, then make some planks here. Okie dokie. So we need to make this. That should be... Oh, wait, I need to make a drawer first. All right, so let's make a drawer first. Then I can make these upgrade templates. Okay, so now I have 2 of those. And then I can make one of these. Now I should be able to take this and flop it on into here. Now, I don't know if I need the first. Okay, yeah, that worked. That took. So you can see here the storage upgrade 2. So now if it goes 2 times the base value, we should be looking at this being able to hold 128. Is that right? Am I reading that right? I think I'm correct about saying this. Okay, I think it's 128. 32 stacks. Okay, no, 64 stacks. So right now I can hold 64 stacks. In order to get it one higher, then we would have to do that again. All right. So we're not quite there yet, but that's okay. That drawer is a-okay. That makes me fine and happy. All right, so that's going to be running now. I'm going to let that populate, get that to get some more cobblestone, but we are officially now at least partially automated with most time-consuming of things. And just to kind of drive the point home that we actually are in pretty good shape here, let me actually see. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it anyways. All right, I'm going to make 4 chests here. And we're actually going to leave some stuff in chest form. I know I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it anyways. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to leave just these 2 chests like so. And then we're just going to dump in some extra stuff in here, like the wand, the sieve, the oak crucible, regular crucible, which we are going to need to get that back at some point. And I think we are going to use the lava power generator this time around for this particular run through. I think that will be what we aim for. But we're going to leave that in there. Free up a little bit of space at least. Wow, that is intense. Holy cow, that was cool. That was really neat. Okay, anyway, sorry. Being a nerd again. My nerd's showing. Sorry. All right, boom, 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 boom. And boom. Oh, crap! Okay, well. Oh, wait, no, it landed. It landed in a good area. Hold on. Reach out for the boys. I can't fit anymore in my inventory. Oak slabs, oak planks, away with you. Even though I'm pretty sure I just picked it back up. But still, oak slabs, away and gone. All right, cool. And now what we can do is we can take these and we're going to just compress these down. Compress these down. And honestly speaking, now that we don't have to worry about wasting cobblestone, which is a pretty important chapter of Sky Factory, right? Now that we don't have to worry about it, we can go ahead and heavy sieve these things without too much remorse. Being able to just kind of power through them is a very nice additional thing that we can do at this point. So with these bad boys, I can run that through with our compressed stone hammer and just kind of give you guys an idea of what that's going to all yield. I will certainly do that real quick. And then, yeah, let's just do one run through of this together, and then we'll probably call it there. But let's see. So we're gonna do this first, break these down. Then we're gonna have to get this into the gravel, and then once we have gravel, we're gonna compress that and then heavy sieve that, and we'll see. We're gonna be aiming actually to get some diamonds. If we can get some diamonds, that'd be cool. I'd be very much down to get some diamonds, but we'll see. Well, that's a little bit of quite a bit to ask, so hopefully we'll get it. If we don't, that's fine. But I think we'll end up finding ourselves, hopefully, I would like to see at least 3 more diamonds. That'd be nice. That might be a little bit much to ask for, but I'm hoping for 3. That might be cool. But this should be all good and stuff. Bang. 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 Whoop. And our team has invested some money into it. Let's take a quick gander at this. JTX said so, invested $10 and said JTX said so. He wanted to distract you with a train while you were jumping around, following the boss's orders. Ha! You were late. Late, I say. I survived and I am not dead. Okay, so down we go into the oblivion. Into the oblivion. I can't believe you're trying to get me killed. I thought we were all friends here. I thought we were all friends. I thought we were in a safe environment. But clearly we're not. Clearly we have traitors in our midst. Traitors, I say. Dirty, rotten traitors. Alright, break that down. Break that down. And now we have a copious amount of gravel, which is always good to have. Okay, gravel, gravel, gravel. Aww. And then gravel. And then gravel. I guess this is actually a pretty weird way to do it. I've never really done it this way, but it's not bad. Okay, so there we go. Onto the last bit of gravel there. Whoop. Darn it. Okay, there we go. And then voila. Now we have ourselves a whole bunch of compressed gravel. Let's see what we get. So I'm personally I'm gonna say we're gonna get 3 diamonds. So whatever you think is the number of diamonds we're gonna get, because we're gonna get a whole bunch of other crap, but whatever the number of diamonds you think we're gonna get is, let me know. For those of you on stream chat, let me know there in the comment section if you're still around. Let's see. Let's see how lucky we get. I'm going for 3. All right, we're obviously gonna pick up some lapis and emeralds and stuff like that, and a whole bunch of broken ore, and flint. So do 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 boop 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 ba-doop 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 boop 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 ba-doop. All right, do we have any diamonds in my inventory? I do have 1. All right, so we already have 1 thing of diamond. We got to get more. There's got to be. We might even be under on that estimate. I'm wondering. I'm nervous now. I think we'll get 3 diamonds, maybe. Now, one of the other reasons why we're doing this is because, okay, there's diamond number 2. Diamond number 2 has been acquired. But, oh, number 3, bang. I think we might actually be well under. Because compressed is, I think, giving us the equivalent of 5 gravel tries per. But, yeah, we're also going to be able to get ourselves a little bit closer to other things here with the gold and other stuff that we're going to be able to get. The next major thing that we have to work on is tinkers and stuff, but that's going to be a lot of prep work and stuff like that. So probably for the next episode, guys, we can expect to see is I'll have done a little bit of prep work. Probably just hang out on stream, just kind of doing our thang jangs, and we'll kind of go after it, make this setup for the whole tinkers all at once. That should be a little bit easier. And this time, I don't think we're going to have to worry about slimes being everywhere, thankfully. So, and that's going to also start the whole building of the north. Although, now that I'm looking at it, I'm wondering if I want to build south. I think I might consider building south. We'll see. I have to think about that. I have to have some reflection. Diamond number 4. I might get 5. Oh, we're down to the last 4, boys. 3, 2, 1. 4 diamonds. Final count. 4 diamonds. Not bad. Honestly, not bad. I rate that. I rate that pretty highly. I'm going to just store away this stuff into here because I can, because I am a freaking savage and a half. All right, nickel ore. Okay, we got ourselves some other stuff here. Ooh. Let's pick this up. And I think we're actually in pretty good shape here. So there's nickel ore in here as well, so I can go ahead and store that. I will read that in uno momento. I have not forgotten. Wait, this is nickel? What am I? Oh, I'm trying to put tin into nickel. Ooh, look at how much iron. Wow, we got a whole crap ton of iron. That's crazy. Okay. We have copper in here as well. That's the one we can, that's the redundant one. Alright, and then we have lead in here, I think. Right? I don't think we have any lead ore left. Nope. All good to go. Alright, cool. So, let's go ahead, combine these down. So we have 3 things of gold. We'll have ourselves a little over, well, I guess technically we have 16 even. We have 16 even on the iron and some aluminum to boot. So not bad at all. I think we're going to actually leave these here for the time being, just because we can. I know it's kind of a weird setup, but, oh, actually, not the iron. Iron needs to get out of there, because iron we will use immediately. Coal we'll throw into here. Oh, nope, you are not making graphite, not now. And let's see, we can also throw in tin. Tin will be the other lad in there. All right, cool. So we will leave those in there for the time being. We will move those into the proper storage facilities at some point, but for the time being, we'll be good to go. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this particular episode of Sky Factory 2.5 with me. And if you did, please consider leaving a like rating down below if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you would like to know whenever other videos come up online on the channel. And I will see you guys another time. So take care, everyone, and ciao for now.